So your question is, what camera you should be getting? And my answer is, I don't know. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Baris, Alkis, and in this channel we talk about photography and filmmaking. In this video, I'm going to talk about a question that I get asked a lot, which is, what preset to use? Not that one. What camera should I be getting? I get that question asked a lot. Not a lot on YouTube, but over Instagram, I probably get that question asked to me at least twice a day, which is nice to connect with people, but I've always had difficulty answering that question because there is no specific answer. Today I'm making this video to talk about my point on what camera you should be getting. By the way, full disclaimer, I'm not gonna be recommending a camera or any kind of gear in this video. If that's what you're interested in, still stay in the video. Also, I don't want to sound like I'm ranting in this video, as I do understand where this question is coming from. It's a very cliche question that all photographers get asked a lot. I really don't know what camera you should be getting. I know a lot about camera gear, and I try to keep myself refreshed with all the new gear that's coming out, which is great. It's something that I like. It's a hobby of mine. It's my job. And I like to know anything and everything about it. And when I first started photography, choosing the right camera was really difficult for me. And you know what? I had the exact same question. I remember like yesterday, I typed on Google, what is the best camera for beginners? And I started watching YouTube videos and stuff. So I totally understand where you guys are coming from. And you know, the camera companies don't make it easier for you guys. There's always these like new cameras coming out. So you never know which one to get. And there's all these specs and all these settings that you have no idea what the use is for. So you're confused. So I understand. But in this video, I do want to like merge down to these topics. And I want to ask you guys some questions that might help you choose the best camera. My journey started with a Nikon D5300. It was a phenomenal camera. Then shortly after, I wanted to shoot some video. As you guys know, or as you guys might know in the future, Nikon and video doesn't go well together. It's the autofocus performance, and that camera did not have a lot profile. It was like an old DSLR camera. So I needed something that I can shoot video with. Then I went and bought another Nikon. Yep, I did it. It was another DSLR, and you know, apparently in the second Nikon that I got, which was D7500, had a better autofocus, which was absolutely garbage as well. And then after that, I was completely done with Nikon. As you guys can tell, my journey started with a very beginner DSLR. And now I get to use amazing cameras. Even if I had the money back in the day, I still would have chosen that Nikon DSLR. Because that Nikon DSLR, trying to shoot video with it, it taught me how to pull focus. Because you couldn't trust the autofocus on those cameras. So I learned many things from all of my gear. And that's exactly what's gonna happen to you. So your first camera will definitely, my friend, will not be your last camera. That camera will teach you so much. That camera will unlock new doors for you, and it's gonna shift your interest in photography. When I first started photography, my style was a lot different. I was really into light colors and, you know, HDR shots. Now I'm like, heavy contrast. My photos almost look like black and white. So it's a phase that you need to go through. Now, some of the questions that I would ask a person that's interested in getting a camera would be, what is your budget, right? And my recommendation would be to split your budget so that you can afford a good lens with that camera. It doesn't matter what body you buy. It really does not matter. As long as you can afford a decent lens with it, you're okay. And to be honest with you, in 2021, even like mid 2000s, if you get a camera from that era, you won't get anything that's bad. Like even my Nikon, that Nikon had amazing color science, right? And I shot with like Canon and stuff after that. I wasn't getting the same color depth from the Canon that I was using. So then you will learn what is important to you. Now the thing is, it's very cliche, but there's no perfect camera. Camera companies almost like agree on this. We're gonna take this side and we're gonna make it really good. You guys can have this side. Sony's like, I'm gonna do this really well. Canon is like, I'm gonna go do this really well. And then there's Fuji, it's like, I'm gonna do this really well. And then Nikon is like, I'm not gonna do anything well. So don't overthink about the brands because they all have their strengths. Look at all of them and choose one that you will need a lot. For instance, if you want to make YouTube videos, you will need a camera that's got decent autofocus. So either a Sony or a Canon, and then merge down into the model that you want and the budget that you have. Simple as that. Also, in the beginning of your journey, it's very hard to settle on a style. So I get a lot of questions like, what's the best camera for street photography? There is none. What's the best lens for street photography? You see, there is no answer for that. Like, some people love 35mm for street photography. I think it's great, but I rather use a wide lens for street photography. That's just my preference, right? It's all about preference, and there is no right answer, like I said. Look at what your needs are, and don't worry about making decisions in the beginning. Get what you want, and then you're gonna start graduating from there. And I guess to finish off the video, my tip would be to not get stuck on gear too much. I say this a lot, and I'm gonna say it in this video again. A professional photographer never looks at a photo and says, I wonder what camera that was shot with. It just doesn't happen. People that have been inside, this industry does not look at images or videos that way. It doesn't matter what it was shot with, right? So let's not get stuck on what things were shot with. Let's look at the vision. That's the best lens you can buy. So train that, work on that rather than thinking about what gear to get. Gear is important. You need good gear that complements your style, within a time, but don't get too stuck on there and worry about creating amazing images rather than the tool you use to make those images. So that's it for this video. Again, I totally understand where you guys are coming from. I had the same questions when I was first starting photography, but as a creative that has a bit more experience now, I can tell you guys, these questions that you have right now will not be relevant in a few years. First, you're gonna wanna upgrade. Second, in a few years, you're gonna see what's important. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.